Hello, Blake Hart here. I'm here today to talk about an older expansion that I overlooked. It's not that I overlooked it, it was just that like life was crazy, the expansion came out, and I didn't get a chance to make a video about it. But a comment came up in my DJ Khalil video, card up there for that video, go check it out, in that expansion about how one of the viewers felt that the Pure Drip expansion was like a better investment. And I think they're both really great. I do love the DJ Khalil expansion, but definitely Pure Drip shouldn't be overlooked, especially if you're into modern hip hop. That's who they're saying, you know, it's modern hip hop. So it's chart topping modern hip hop, diverse blend of atmospheric trap and anthemic, that's a hard word to say, hip hop and forward thinking pop. And really it's true, like the patterns are split between like trap patterns, so they're like 135 to 140 BPMs, and then more traditional hip hop types of drum patterns that are in, let's say, like around 90 BPM or in that area. There's a lot of great stuff that comes with this expansion, so if you haven't bought it yet, I do feel like it's a great investment. Link is below. Thank you if you use that link. I really appreciate you for helping support this channel, because Native Instruments gives me a little bit of a tip for sending you their way. And as always, thank you. But beyond that, like I do feel like this is a great investment. It comes with a lot of loops, a lot of great loops, a lot of usable loops, and a lot of really good drum sounds. And I'm going to go through some of the sounds with you, but first I'm going to go through a song that I already made with Pure Drip, which is more like a trap style song, and then we're going to work on making a hip hop song and see what we can come up with, and in the process also listen to some of the sounds. So let's dive into that. This is the song that I came up with, so let's take a listen. So I use this loop, came from Pure Drip, and this loop, I have effects on here, so put a little gatekeeper on there. This drum kit and the drum patterns as well. Didn't make these drum patterns. This is a pattern that came with the expansion. These extras here, which is just like a little perk, shake, and there's a little vocal you'll hear. The bass, this is a preset that's in Massive that comes with the expansion. See there. And then the lead. This is in Massive. The one thing on here that did not come out of Massive, that did not come out of the Pure Drip expansion, are these pads, which came out of Nexus. So let's talk a little bit about my process when I'm working with these loops. And the loops are really awesome. So all of the loops are labeled. You can look on your machine to see the full label when you're in this view, or you can just double click on it to rename it, and you can see that it tells me it's a C minor. So that's really awesome. That's a really great advantage. And actually I'll pull this up over here so you can take a look over here and get an idea of what it looks like. So these are all the loops, and you can see that they're all labeled here. So you're not flying blind. But I want to give you another tip that I actually learned about a software program from MG the Future. He's always checking out new things, always thankful that he's doing that since I don't have the time to. And I saw him using this Dakota, which is available on Plugin Boutique, linked to that below as well. And it's just really handy. It's a really handy software program to just like throw either a sample into or a whole song and get a full view of, okay, like, what are the notes in here? What are the chords in here? What key is it in? How can I work with this sample? What am I going to do? And so what I tend to do, and so I use this sample here. So let's look for it. It's called Synth Graze. I thought it was called that, but now I'm not coming up with anything. Why? What did I spell wrong? All right, do it that way. So it's this one. So you right click on it and you say find in Finder, and it just pops up where it is. So this is so easy. And then you just take this, you drop it into Dakota, and here you know it's a C minor, and this is an A flat that's being played here. And you also get the BPMs too, which is really helpful, right? So right there, I'm like, okay, C minor, that's an A flat. So let me go take a look and load up Scalar here and take a look into Scalar and I don't know, come up with some chords for this. And that's exactly what I did. So I put myself in the C minor scale and I know like, okay, like that is an A flat that's starting out there. And then just threw these in here and then tried to play them off of this to see like, okay, did they sound good? So let's see if I've got that loop running and I've got this loop running. And whoops, didn't mean to throw that off. And just get an idea of like, okay, does that sound good together? And that's how I then came up with my chords, which is in these pads. And that's just backing, right? Because it doesn't need to, it doesn't mean to be at the forefront, but it adds a little something to the backing there. And then for my lead, like when I'm doing this, I know like I'm in C minor. So all this stuff is in C minor. And I haven't arranged this, but it's sort of like the way it sounds. It's got a nice feel, a nice sound to it. So let's go into this other song that I started doing and then said, why am I not recording? I should be recording. And I did the same exact type of thing. So I found this loop that I liked here. And let's pull it up and let's go through it. And I don't know why I really having trouble finding things, but there it is. So right click it and find it in the finder. Bring up Dakota. And I'm going to take it and throw it in there. And so it's telling me B flat major, and this is telling me the chords here and 130 BPM. Which super helpful, right? Because now I know I can take that and I can go right into Scalar and my machine's quit. This is the second time this has happened to me. So I'm not sure what's not playing nicely together. And I'm trying to think, what have I installed recently that's not playing nicely together? I'm not going to reshoot this video. So we are going to keep going. We are going to reopen Maschine and we are going to push through. We're saying we had Scalar open, so I picked out those chords, right? Because what I did is I found them in Dakota, so let's open Dakota again. So we're C minor, B flat, G minor, A flat. I know what the chords are, so if I want a pad to back it, I just like go and find them, right? Not a big deal. I go and find the chords. First, I'll turn this on. Found the chords, laid them in here, turn that off, and then I have my pads. It's sort of like an evolving sound in the back there. And so we're going to work off of that. We're going to work off of this one loop to help build a song around it. And I just like the vibe. So let me just take you through the journey of like how I would usually do this once I've gotten here. Like I know what key I'm in, I know what my chords are, I put my pads in the background, and now I'm going to build my lead, I'm going to build my bass, I'm going to get my drums down, and I'm going to add in any extras that I might think add something to it. So let's do it. All right, so let's hop into maybe adding a lead here. Put this over here. And let's see what we can find here. Like I said, there's some cool massive presets. So the way you find those is you click over here and you can just open up massive as an instrument. Once you're in massive, you can click on this arrow up here and then you can see you can go down to pure drip and then you see all of the presets that come with it. So that's plucked up. Let's see what that's like. Let's see. Take that out. Let's quiet that down a little bit. See what we can do here. that's not going to work. So let's try it again. So I totally came in late here. But it's not a big deal. Like, this is all about just having fun and not being critical on yourself for not using the hardware. I mean, it's just fun. So that's where I want to go. I might find another sound and do that up there, or not. See, so I messed up here because I think what I wanted to do was actually just drag this back so that I was one before. Let's see. Alright, I don't want that there. I want that here, I think. Alright, I'm going to leave that there for now, but like, let's put another lead in. So let's see what we can do. So we'll call this lead 2. Staying organized is always like awesome idea. I think there was some stuff in Monarch, so let's take a look there. So with Monarch, I'm going to go back to my instruments, going to load up Monarch, and it's the same idea. You can have this drop down here, pick Pure Drip. Let's see what this one is. Whistleblower. I love his sound. It's got like a 80s thing going on, but I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work with what I got. It doesn't. It doesn't work with that other sound. So let's see. What can we do? I mean, we can go look in loops and see if we can find. Those are one shots. Let's see if we find like some other loop that maybe like fits in there, right? So I set them in B flat, but let's see if we can find something else in C minor and go from there. Some bells, which is sort of the sound of what I've got going on. Those are combos. See what that sounds like. the same group. No, it's not. But it sounds good together. That could work. Let's take a look at some other loops. Let's see. That's what I used in the last song. Some wild stuff in here. Yeah, that just doesn't have the right vibe. Alright, let's take that out. And let me play with this loop. And see. Out a little bit more. Alright, so like that could work. I mean, there's lots of different ways, obviously, you can make a song, and this is where you just, like, get caught up in spending time on things, and for the sake of the video, it doesn't make sense to just obsess and dwell. But if it were on my own time, I'd probably be dwelling a little bit, because there's some things right here where I'm like, you know what, I know I can do better than this. But let's take this out of here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this group right here for some drums. So let's go listen to some drums. Some kits. The drums are nice. Say awhile kit. This was one of the ones that I was feeling. There's a lot of nice kits in here, so you'll be happy with these. And as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of them. You'll be happy. But I think it was this one that I had my eye on when I decided, why aren't I recording this? So I'm going to kick all these out because I don't need those. And I'm going to get rid of these toms too. So let's see what we got. So obviously, it's just, those drums are a little fast. Let's slow it down. is like a little fast too, but let's see. So the patterns are just changing what's on the bottom there, which is what I've already taken out. All right, I've got nothing, you know, I do have that in here. Let's see. I forgot all about that. So maybe it's just this. Sometimes when things are sounding a little off, maybe sometimes you have to just turn the pads down. Yeah, those are way too loud. And I don't have an overhead, so that's sort of why I'm not using. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, you know, why aren't you ending up using your machine a lot?" I mean, I also don't want people to get caught up on the fact that you have to use your hardware. I mean, everything that we're doing here, like, yeah, it's cool using your hardware, but you can use software. It's up to you how you want to do it, which is what's so awesome about Maschine. All right, so let's add a bass, and that we can grab from, let's look at one of the massive presets for that. So go back over here. Let's see. Go in here, because there's a cool bass here that I liked. This lows. You can't even hear it when I do the. If you have headphones on right now, unless you have headphones, you're not going to hear this. But it's nice. So we'll use that. That's what I used on my last song. I like it. So. And one of the things I do sometimes, just to make it easy on myself, right? I already have these pads in here. So what I can do is I can copy these and put them in here and sort of play off those, because like I know those are the chords that are going on in the background, right? So let's see. I'll take these out. Take this and just see what comes together. Take these out. Take that out. I could drop back down again. I tend to change it on the tail end here. I don't want to go too high. And we'll drop back down there. What do we got? So then I'm going to take all this and I'm just going to move it down until it sounds good. Let me see, because I'm not, whoops, don't want to do that. Copy this, take a look over here, and then move that. Oh, it's the same. So, and then that's going to be way too low. All right, I'm going to keep that. Let's see how it all sounds together. So I'll take that, and then I would like go in and look at some of the, what I call them extras, add like little special things here and there to give it a special, like, I don't know, just like some sort of just special touches, like special sauce here and there. All right, let's go back in here and let's take a listen to some of the sounds because I haven't gone through the loops. I went through the kits, but let's go through some of the loops. Let's go through some of the one-shots and get a feel for what's in here. Hello, click over there. Pure drip. So up here you're going to have the basses. We go into the bells. Some cool sounds to work with here. Like, and it gives you the inspiration, right? You're listening through here and you hear a loop and you're like, oh yeah, I could do something with that. And that's like a lot of times how things start for me. It starts with the loop, it starts with the lead, the melody, and then I build around it. So these combos are the full songs. You can split these up, chop them, play around with them like that if you want to. Down here we got the drums. So you just use a drum loop, which is nice if you want to. A few flutes. Always love a good flute, right? Then these full, again, you can split those up if you want to like sample some horns. A lot of very cool usable loops. So you are getting a ton with this particular expansion, which everybody always likes quantity, but you know what? Quality's good too. I'll tell you that DJ Khalil expansion, some people are going to sleep on that because they don't think they're getting enough with it, but it's a good one. So you got a lot of stuff here. Piano. That's cool. It's nice. So there's a lot of cool synth stuff in here too, which people are really gonna like. Like, look at this. There's a lot here. Ton of synth loops. Ton. So you're gonna find lots of inspiration here. And then these like vocal. It's a neat little thing for texture. I'll add that in there. So much. And then these are the one shots. I mean, because what you can do, I mean, you can just, I mean, if you don't know this, I mean, you add up a one shot here to this group, you put it in keyboard mode. Doesn't mean it sounds good, right? Some of them sound better than others. So here's all your little drum pieces. Perk, sound effects. So like this is something I'd call an extra. Maybe when I'm arranging, I'll add something like that in there. There's a few more. These vocal things.
Yeah.
Which I would put something like that in my extra too. So let's see. I'm gonna shut this off right now. this little, that's a high thing. I mean, that's what this is the beauty. The beauty of making music is there are so many different ways you could go with something. And every time you make a song, it's going to be different. There's different decisions you're going to make. There's so many different sounds. There's so many different loops. There's so many different drum kits. And that's like the beauty of making music. And at some point you have to make a final decision and say, that's it, right? These are the sounds. That's it. Maybe I could obsess over continually trying to look for like a better sound. But I feel what works best for me is when I accept, you know what, for the most part, this is it. Maybe I'll hop in after this video. Maybe try to, like, I don't know, finesse a few different sounds, like maybe add some effects, add to it a little bit, but I can't obsess too long. I need to like move on to the next thing. And it just, when I'm making beats like this on here, it's just so interesting because you see some of these people and they're just so fast, and that really comes with years and years and years of practice. I've gotten so much quicker than I was when I first started doing this. But I'm happy with this. I like it. I like the loops. Everything, like I said, right now, this is all from pure drip, except for this pad. But all of this, all from pure drip. All right, I'm going to call it there, guys. Again, the link is down below. This is the Pure Drip expansion. I hope this video didn't go on for too long or that I'm able to edit it, because I did find myself in certain spots, like, slowing down the video because I was trying to just find the sound that I thought was going to be the best fit. Whatever you do, don't obsess, have fun, get out there, make music. Even if it sounds like crap, you'll eventually get better. I've gotten better. If you go back and listen to my earlier videos, I've definitely gotten better, and I still have a lot of room for improvement. But that is why I love doing this. I love taking the sounds and creating something that is from me, that is from, what my heart, from my vision, what I want to create. There's nothing better than this. So go out there and make some music. I'll see you again soon.